We all share our lives online. But have you ever stopped to wonder who's really watching? Who's tracking your every move, every photo, every post? Just waiting for the right moment to find you in real life tonight. I'll tell you 5 horrifying stories of twisted lies, obsessive stalkers, and anonymous predators who turn social media into a hunting ground. Warning: the following stories are inspired by real events. If you're watching this video, you might want to double-check your privacy settings afterward. Story 1. Miranda, the ghost behind the screen. I was a freshman at a small local college. Unlike most of my friends, I didn't move far from home, which meant meeting new people, especially girls, wasn't easy. At a school where students just showed up for class and left, my only real shot at connection was through Tinder and Instagram. One afternoon, while scrolling on my phone, I got a follow request from an account named Miranda. Her profile picture, a brunette with soft curls and captivating eyes, made me instantly follow her back. Her account looked real, nearly 400-500 followers, posts dating back over a year, hundreds of likes and comments on each photo. There was nothing that screamed fake. We started messaging. Miranda told me she found me on Tinder, which made sense since I had my Instagram linked in my bio. She said I was cute. I felt flattered, a little proud. Soon we were chatting every night. She was sweet, witty, and somehow always online right when I felt the most alone. One night I worked up the courage to ask if she wanted to come over. I happened to be home alone. She asked a single question: "Where do you live?" I sent the address. Less than a minute later, she replied, "Only 10 minutes away. I'm coming." It all felt perfect, until I noticed something strange. In one of her earlier posts, a middle-aged man had commented, "How old are you?" Miranda replied, "25. But when I asked her myself, she told me she was 19. I began scrolling through her photos again. Almost every comment came from older men, many with blank or bizarre profile pictures. No friends, no tags, not a single comment from another woman. Something didn't feel right. I blocked Miranda's account. 10 minutes later, my inbox was flooded with messages from unfamiliar accounts. They cursed at me, threatened me, demanded that I unblock Miranda. One message came instantly: "Unblock Miranda." Terrified, I deleted every conversation, especially the one where I'd sent my address. I thought it was over, until that night. As I was lying in bed watching a movie, I heard something in the living room, soft footsteps, creaking noises that didn't sound like the usual heating system. I froze, held my breath. Too exhausted to do anything, I eventually drifted off. But a few hours later, I jolted awake. The room was freezing. Then I heard a soft click. Close, very close. I turned my head and froze. In the corner of my room, someone was standing there, a dark figure, silent. And under the pale glow from my computer screen, I could see a faint smile. No sound, no movement, just watching me. I bolted out of bed barefoot, not even grabbing my shoes. I ran through the snow, pounding on my neighbor's door, heart racing like I was trapped in a nightmare. The police came and searched the house. No signs of forced entry. Every door and window was locked except for one back window, which I had forgotten to latch. They tried to reassure me. "Maybe you were still dreaming." But I know what I saw. I remember that smile. A few months later, the Miranda account vanished from Instagram. No one knows if it was deleted or who was behind it. But ever since that night, I've never shared my location online again. And I've never not once stayed home alone overnight. Story 2. The photos no one gave permission for. I always saw Instagram as something light and harmless, a place to scroll through pictures and kill time. But I never imagined that the very same app would be the beginning of a waking nightmare. One day I got a notification, a message request from a random account. I was used to weird DMs from strangers, so I didn't think much of it. But this time was different. The message was a link to an Instagram account named Perfectalways. When I opened it, a chill ran down my spine. The page was filled with photos of young girls, very young, probably between 13 and 20. But it wasn't the images themselves that disturbed me. It was how they were taken. Every picture looked like it had been taken, without the person knowing. A girl sitting on a school bus, another crouched on a park bench, one caught mid-walk through a patch of trees. None of them seemed to know they were being watched. I expected disgusting, creepy comments, but instead they were eerily bland, nice. Keep up the good work. And the strangest part were the numbers 400, 500, 725. Every account that commented had no profile picture, no posts, no followers. Like digital ghosts, faceless and lurking. I immediately took screenshots and sent them to my best friend Ali. Minutes later, she replied, "Oh my God, who's doing this?" "That's terrifying," I answered. "Yeah, it's seriously creepy." Then she asked something that made my heart almost stop. "Aren't you scared someone's posting pictures of you on Instagram?" I froze. I opened the account again, and just like she said, there were two new photos. One was a picture of me walking home. The angle was from inside a car. Someone had been watching me. The second photo was of a young girl sitting in the passenger seat of an SUV, also taken without her knowing. Suddenly, that uneasy feeling I had earlier turned into pure, consuming fear. I remembered the car parked on the street that afternoon. I even saw a figure sitting inside, but I never thought Ali told me to report it to the police. We both reported the account to Instagram. Minutes later, when I refreshed the page, it was gone. This page doesn't exist. Everything erased. Like it had never been there. Was it removed by Instagram? Or did the person behind it cover their tracks? To this day, I don't know what those numbers meant. Were they prices, scores, or something even more horrifying? Who were the people running that account? And more importantly, why me? Since that day, I've never shared my real-time location on social media again. And I warn everyone I know, never let the world know where you are. Because you don't know who's in the dark, watching you. Story 3. The Man at the Train Station. I was 15 at the time, a freshman in high school living far from campus, so I had to take the subway to school every day. My Instagram was public, and like most teenagers, I never really thought about who was following me. I posted photos, daily selfies, hangouts with friends, sometimes even stories while I waited for the train, complete with whatever song fit my mood. One afternoon, I glanced at the list of people who had viewed my story and noticed a strange name. The profile picture was a close-up selfie of a middle-aged man, the kind of awkward angle parents take when they're still learning how to use their phones. He had watched every single one of my stories. I found it a bit odd, but brushed it off. Until that night around 2 a.m., I got a wave of notifications. He had followed me, liked every one of my posts, and sent me a message with just one word. "Hey." I opened his profile. The username was something like Sam, followed by a long string of numbers. Only one post, the creepy selfie from before. 2 likes. He had 5 followers, but was following over 400 accounts, almost all of them underage girls. My skin crawled. I immediately blocked him. The next day, I got off the train at the station near school and sat down on a bench to adjust my bag. That's when I felt it, that classic, unmistakable feeling someone was watching me. I turned around. Across the platform, just 20 meters away, was him, the man from the photo, staring directly at me. His eyes were sunken and cloudy, his stare unblinking. His mouth was tight, almost angry. I jumped to my feet and started walking in the opposite direction. But for every step I took, he doubled his pace, like a silent predator closing in. My head spun. My heart pounded. And in the crowd, no one seemed to notice. Then I saw an older woman walking toward me, gentle face, calm eyes. I rushed to her, nearly out of breath, and pointed behind me. "That man in the white shirt, he's following me." Without hesitation, she turned around and shouted across the platform, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? I'll call the police if you don't stop right now." Her voice cut through the station. People started turning. He froze, panic flickering in his eyes, then spun around and walked away like an animal caught in a spotlight. Hands trembling, I snapped a photo of his face before he disappeared. That woman walked with me all the way to the school gate. Only then did I finally feel safe enough to breathe. On the walk, there's something hit me. That morning I'd posted a story at that train station. That was how he found me. Since that day, I set my Instagram to private. I never share my real-time location on social media anymore. And I learned something the hard way. Sometimes just one careless post is all it takes to put you right where a predator wants you. Story 4. The Imposter. Using my face. I've had Instagram for over 7 years. Back then I posted everything: selfies, parties, vacations. But lately I barely use it. I just scroll through friends' stories now and then. One week I lost my phone. I tried tracking it with Find My iPhone, but the location it showed was over 30 miles away. It was an old device anyway, so I gave up. That might have been my first mistake. One afternoon I got a message from someone I hadn't spoken to since high school, a guy named Mark. We didn't even follow each other. His message was just one line: "Hey, be careful. Someone's using your pictures to pretend to be you on Instagram." I clicked the link he sent, and I swear I felt the blood in my body turn cold. It was a completely different username, but every photo, every post, was me. Pictures I had never posted online, photos of me at home in the bathroom mirror, even one of me napping on the couch, the kind of shots that could have only come from my missing phone. It felt like someone had crawled into the most personal parts of my life. Horrified, I scrolled down to see the latest story, posted just a few hours ago. It was a boomerang, a short clip taken from in front of my house, panning to the car I had parked in the driveway. I couldn't believe it. Someone was standing right outside my home, using my own phone to film me and posting it to the fake account like a silent threat. I immediately turned Find My iPhone back on. This time, the result made me sick. The phone was somewhere on my property. I ran downstairs to find my roommate, Corey. When I got to him, he was already standing by the back door, staring out into the yard. His husky was barking like mad into the bushes at the edge of our backyard. Out of breath, I grabbed Corey's arm and pulled him outside. And that's when we saw it, a dark figure darting through the trees behind our house. Someone was hiding right there, just beyond our fence. We rushed back inside, pulled the dog in, and locked every door. That was the moment I knew the person behind that account wasn't just online. They were real, and they were watching me. That night around 3 a.m., the dog started barking again. This time it was standing at the front door, growling. Corey and I rushed to the window. No one there. But that eerie feeling that someone was watching us from the dark was unmistakable. By morning, my phone's tracking signal was gone, disabled, or destroyed. I didn't know what they wanted, what they were looking for. But I sent one final message to the fake account: "I know who you are. I'm going to the police." A few minutes later, the account disappeared. Not blocked. Not hidden. Just gone. Even now, I wonder if that person is still watching me. If those personal images are still sitting on some hard drive somewhere. I've changed every password-enabled two-factor authentication, and I never leave my phone unsecured anymore. And I'll never forget that night, the night someone stole my face and wore it like a mask, while standing right outside my window. Story 5. The Stalker's Gaze. I was 15 when it happened, my first year of high school. Since I lived far from campus, I rode the train alone every day. At the time, I was obsessed with Instagram. My account was public, I never thought twice about it. I posted often school pics, friends, and especially stories sometimes while waiting for the train. Sometimes just vibing with music at the station. One day I posted a short story like usual. A quick clip of the station where I got off every morning with some chill music playing in the background. A few hours later, I checked who'd viewed it. Over 100 people, mostly friends. But then I saw a strange name, Sam243889. The profile picture was a close-up selfie of a middle-aged man, the kind you'd expect from a dad who doesn't know how to take selfies. I shivered but exited the app and told myself not to overthink it. That night, at exactly 2 a.m., I got flooded with notifications. He had followed me, liked every photo I'd ever posted, and sent a DM. Hey. I tapped his profile. Only one post, that same creepy profile picture. 5 followers. Following over 400 accounts, mostly teenage girls and a few celebrities. My skin erupted in goosebumps. I blocked him instantly. I thought that would be the end of it. The next morning I got off the train like always. But this time, as I sat down on a bench to tie my shoe, I felt it, that unmistakable feeling of being watched. I turned around and my blood froze. About 20 steps away stood the same man, sunken eyes, pale skin, a look of furious intensity. He wasn't blinking, just standing there. Then, he started walking toward me. Panic hit me like a wave. For every step I backed away, he moved twice as fast. In the rush hour crowd, no one even noticed. I nearly ran into a woman on the stairs, kind face, calm presence. Breathless, I whispered, "That man. He's following me." Without missing a beat, she turned, pointed at him, and shouted, "What are you doing to that girl? I'll call the police right now." People started turning. He stopped in his tracks. His eyes were still locked onto mine, but now they were filled with hesitation. I quickly raised my phone and snapped a photo of his face. All I could think was, he doesn't get to just disappear. He turned, shoved his way into the crowd, and boarded the arriving train. That kind woman walked me all the way to the school gate. I thanked her with everything I had. Later that day, it hit me, that story I'd posted at the station. I had accidentally revealed where I get off. That was how he found me. Since then, I've made my account private. I never post my real-time location, and I never accept follow requests from strangers. I still have the photo of his face. I sent it to the police and I hope they find him, but it stays with me. That look, amid the likes, the follows, and the heart emojis, there are sometimes real eyes, cold, hungry, watching you from the shadows. You've been watching social media horror. Be careful what you share online, because not every follower is harmless. Are you really sure who's following you? In the age of social media, the line between privacy and stalking has never been thinner. If you felt a chill watching this video, like, subscribe, and share so your friends can be just as alert. And don't forget to comment below. Have you ever felt like someone was watching you when they shouldn't have been? See you next time on Scary Stories, true horror from real life.